Greetings everyone interested in teaching ESL. All of us in the field of teaching academic ESL know that our job is to teach skills. For most of us, we are not teaching content. If our students leave our ESL courses and programs better able to use their English speaking, writing, reading, and listening skills, no matter what the topic, then we have done our job. Of course, what we assign students to read about and talk about and write about and listen to will probably involve some type of content. For example, they might talk or read or write about current events or music or global warming or nutrition. But here's the thing. Some ESL teachers think that if they choose a topic to read about, then students must also talk about that and write about that topic. In other words, they are integrating all the skills around that one topic or theme. And many of us in the ESL field believe that can be a mistake. In one of my previous videos titled Integrated versus Discrete Skill ESL Courses, Advantages of Discrete Skills, I explained more about the value of having separate classes for each skill. But let's say that you are supposed to develop all the skills in your course. I'll describe here both how this can cause problems, but also how it can be done effectively. First, here is the problem that I've seen with ESL teachers in this situation. They have found a great article, for example, about nutrition. The reading and vocabulary are right at the student's reading level, and they are sure the information will hold the student's interests because much of it will be new, valuable, and perhaps surprising to them. So they decide that they will do a unit on nutrition, and this is where the problem starts. They think that they need to integrate the other skills around the topic of nutrition, which means that the students will talk about nutrition and write about nutrition and listen to passages about it. So content becomes the focus of lessons and language skill building becomes secondary. For example, let's say that one of the conversation goals for this class is for students to develop the technique of speaking with some details. As you probably know, in lower and even intermediate levels, a challenge is to get students to give more than just short responses when interacting with others. A side note here, in a link below, I'll share with you an exercise that you can use with your students to actually practice this. So now the teacher wants students to develop this conversation technique, but also thinks they need to be talking about nutrition when learning and practicing this conversation technique. But for learning this technique, there is little doubt that it would be much more effective for the students to talk about things like their plans for tonight, or their hometown, or music, or TV, or computers, or travel, or their families. All of those would be much more interesting and stimulating than talking about nutrition. And for writing, imagine a goal for that class is to teach students how to write a descriptive essay. Now imagine that you were an ESL student learning how to write this. Which topic would be more appealing to you? Describing your childhood neighborhood, or a view from a classroom window, or describe your best friend, or describe your pet? Or would it be to describe something about nutrition? I doubt any of us would choose nutrition. So, what is this teacher who believes she should integrate all the skills around one topic do? Should she drop the nutrition article, which had a lot of good features for reading skill development, but wouldn't work well for the other skills? She thinks describing a childhood neighborhood would fit the description writing goal, So should she search for a reading article about that and make that the integrated skill topic or theme? Could she possibly find an article as good for reading skill development as the nutrition article? Then would that topic fit the conversation goals? Instead of going through all those contortions trying to integrate the skills around one topic, here's what the teacher should do. For reading skills, find the best reading article for reading skill development. Find the best topics for conversation skill development, and don't worry if it's not connected to the reading article. And do the same with the writing topic. Find topic choices that will most stimulate students to write, even if they are not related in any way to the reading or speaking topics. That is how we can best help our students develop their reading skills. Focusing on discrete skills does not mean they only use that one skill. For example, when working on reading skills, it doesn't mean that students only read. They might actually talk about the reading article in groups or whole class. But this is important. The primary goal is develop reading skills, and that's what we will evaluate. We are not simultaneously trying to develop specific conversation techniques when discussing nutrition, nor will we evaluate their speaking skills during that discussion. The same thing might happen when working on conversation skills. Students might read a short passage before a discussion, but the reading passage will only be used as a way to stimulate a discussion. It is not used to work on reading skills. In fact, the article might not necessarily be at the perfect reading level of the students, and they will not be evaluated on how well they understood the article. They will be evaluated only on how well they used conversation techniques during the discussion. So that is how ESL teachers who are assigned to teach all 4 skills in one course can do it effectively by teaching the skills separately. As I mentioned, this applies to the lower and intermediate level classes. In my next video, part 2, I'll discuss teaching advanced levels of ESL, in which it is possible to integrate the 4 skills around one topic. And I'll tell you what topic is the best to do that with. Then in part 3, I'll explain all the factors that make that topic the best for the higher level ESL integrated courses. And in part 4, I'll share with you materials that integrate the skills that you can use with your students at the higher level. So until next time, see you later.